In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to build email funnels and automation inside of ConvertKit. Welcome, I'm Pamela Bassett, the founder of The Lucrative Lady, and I'm so excited about this video because I'm going to be walking you through one of my favorite platforms, ConvertKit. Now, what is ConvertKit? ConvertKit is a creator marketing platform. Yes, it is one of the most essential tools that I've used to grow my business. And listen, I never ever shy away from talking about ConvertKit like ever. So I'm so excited just because I know it's going to give you a ton of value. Today I'm going to be breaking down one of the most questions that I get asked, and I teach about this in my program. So I sort of figured it would be really great to share with you on this channel as well. I'm talking all things automation and email funnels, which is what literally gives you your time back so that your business can run for you even when you're not actually actively running it or working inside of your business. You know, it's all about working smarter, not harder. So how do we do this? Through ConvertKit. So I'm going to be walking you through, number one, how to build an email sequence inside of ConvertKit. Number two, we're going to be diving into the automation sections of ConvertKit, and I cannot wait to show you because it is like stepping into a sweet shop. Honestly, it is amazing. The various types of automation that you can have, I cannot wait to show you that. And then finally, number three, I'm going to be rounding up with email funnels in ConvertKit and how I built them so that you can do the same. I'm going to be jumping behind my laptop, sharing my screen and showing you all the goods. So without further ado, let's talk about email sequences inside of ConvertKit. Now, what are email sequences? Email sequences are literally a chain of emails that you can build to keep your email list engaged, communicate with your subscribers, sell your products, build your email list, build engagement, tell people about whatever it is that you're working on. Whether it's a podcast, a new offer, a new program, a new thing that you are selling, or, to join you live, email sequences are the bee's knees when it comes to, really running your business hands-free and buying back your time. Email sequences are very different to broadcasts, which you will also find inside of ConvertKit, and I use them both, but you use them at different times. So a broadcast is a one-time email. So, for example, you might send a broadcast if you are sending out reminders for people to join you live for something. Perhaps you're going to do a Facebook Live or a YouTube Live. It's not going to be a sequence because it's not something you are that requires a sequence. It's a reminder. So you're going to send it as a broadcast. You might also use a broadcast if you're doing a launch and it is a launch that you're not going to be doing again, but you're doing it in that time or in that specific week or in that specific period. So an email broadcast might be the right thing for that. However, an email sequence is very different from a broadcast. Whilst it's also there to help you to deliver your emails, the purpose of an email sequence is so that you are able to deliver it time and time again, which is the opposite to an email broadcast, which is the one time. So email sequences over and over and over again. This means that if somebody joins your list at whatever time of year and you put them into a sequence, they will get those emails, which is amazing, right? It means that you don't have to keep writing emails and scheduling emails. So sequences I find incredibly powerful. Now, how do you create sequences inside of ConvertKit? Well, I'm going to show you. Let's dive into my ConvertKit account and I'll walk you through. So let's start off by showing you a very quick way of building incredible email sequences inside of ConvertKit. So this is my ConvertKit account. I have several accounts. This is one of them. So to build your sequences, you go over here to send. And here you have several options. You definitely want this one that says sequences. So I'm going to click on that. Now, my ConvertKit account is very seasoned. I've had this account for many, many years, so I do have a lot of sequences built. So to begin building your sequences, you click over here to New Sequence. And then the first thing you want to do is to name your sequence. Now, before you begin, you definitely want to make sure that you have your emails written out in a Google Doc like I do. So I have all my emails written out. I tend to begin by actually planning my launch. So if my sequence is for a specific launch or whatever the sequence is for, I plan it out. So I tend to do either 5-day launches, 7-day launches, or 9-day launches. So this is me planning it out. So I know that day one of my launch, I'm going to be sending 2 emails. Day 2, 1 email and a video. Day 3, which on this specific launch happened to be on a Saturday, 1 email. Day 4, Sunday, 1 email. Day 5, 2 emails and 1 video. Day 6, 2 emails. Day 7, 3 emails. Now, it does change. This isn't how I do all of my launches. But I like to plan it out here so that I know exactly what type of email sequence I'm building out inside of ConvertKit. So I plan everything out here, and I have all my emails, my subject lines, and I just do the groundwork before I even get into ConvertKit. So I'm going to pretend like I'm planning a launch, and I'm going to pop in a couple of emails just so that you can see what I would do in terms of a sequence. So we begin by naming your sequence. You name your sequence according to what your sequence is for. This helps you to keep track. So in this instance, this sequence, I'm going to use that headline over there because it's for this, and I'm going to add the word demo for myself just so that I can remember to delete this because this is just for demo purposes. So once you have added your sequence name, you click on create sequence over here. And now we can begin creating our sequence. So you can see how simple it is to create your sequence. All I'm going to do is literally copy and paste my emails. And that's why doing the groundwork is very important. So this is my first email. So I've written the subject line over here. So I'm going to copy that and pop it in here. So this is my subject line, 40K per month, passive income. Here's how I do it. And then I'm going to grab my email body. So what I do in my email in Google Doc is that I also add everything that I need it to have. So if it needs to have a video, I would add the video. If it needs bullet points like this, I'd add the bullet points. If I want some words to be in bold, I would make them in bold right here inside of the Google Doc before I even go into ConvertKit. This is how I prefer to work. If I want some of the text in italics, I would put that in and do it that way. So now, one more thing. This over here, this is pretty much the, what is it called? So if I click over here, this is how you insert the name of the personalization. So over here, right? So subscriber name. So if I wanted to send an email and I want the email to be very personal, I would insert this, what would you call it? A code. I would insert this into the actual email so that when the subscriber receives the email, it addresses them by name. So what I do is I actually copy this and I embed it into my emails like I have done here, so that way when I go into ConvertKit, I literally just copy the whole thing and paste, and I know that it'll work. So as I have done that already, I'm going to copy all of this. So the entire email, copy, and then I am going to paste. Voila. Can you see how it has beautifully transferred everything for me? It's transferred the bullet points for me. It's transferred the words in bold. It's transferred the words in italic. You see how just doing the groundwork? Oh, I just love ConvertKit. It just makes life just so much easier. I don't have to come in and format everything over again. It just works. I do give it a good read once over, once I have put it in. Sometimes, just reading it whilst it's inside of ConvertKit, shows me some things that I might want to change or improve or, whatever. You see, so for example, this, I would definitely want it to be in bold and probably a different color because it's, it's talking about money here. Price goes up in 24 hours. I might want to center this, for example. I might want to add an emoji, for example. So this emoji right here, where are we? Hold on. Let's try that again. Voila, right? So I might want to do that. If I want it, for example, just add an emoji. Date for your diary. This is very important. So I definitely want to make this bold. Bootcamp date. Oopsie. Time. Link to join, etc. Right? So, and then I would obviously end with a call to action over here. But once I have added the call to action, or sign off rather. PS. Join now. The price goes up tomorrow. Something like that. Right? What I would then do is then go through and, add the links. So where are they joining? Right? So I'm going to have a look at this and join now. So this is obviously going to be hyperlinked with a link. So I'm going to add that here. This isn't the actual link, but I'm just adding this for the purpose of this. What I might want to do is tag subscribers who have clicked on a specific link. So I have a lot of tags here that I've already added. And if I didn't have the tag already, I can simply just add it in, right? Tag for demo. Here, create new tag. Now, if I click on add link over here, now this is hyperlinked. You can see that it's underlined. It means that anybody who clicks on this link, right, they will be tagged. So I would know that if I sent this to 11,000 people, for example, I would know how many people have clicked on this link, etc. So this just helps me with my analytics in understanding how well my emails are working. And so you'd obviously, I'm not going to be sending this out because this is for demo purposes, but if you were going to send this out, you'd read your email once more. You then check the date. So for example, if this is the first in the sequence, you might want it to be sent immediately. So I'm going to put 0 over here. So this is the, I know that I want this to be sent. This is the first email that they're going to receive. You might want to exclude some people from receiving this. This is what this means over here. There are 2 places that you can do your exclusions. I actually prefer to do my exclusions inside of the automation part, but as this part of the video is all about sequences, let me show you how to do them here. So if I click on this, I can exclude everybody that I do not want to receive a specific email. So all I have to do, so exclude subscribers from this email who match. Let's add the filter. Let's say I wanted to exclude people who didn't want to be part of this specific tag that I had created previously. So there were 17 subscribers that said, Pam, I want to unsubscribe from this. I don't want to hear about it. I could easily exclude them from receiving this specific email because I don't feel it will be right for them. So now that I've added it, I'm going to click away and this is going to be red, right? You see how it's gone red? Because it means that there are people in that who will not receive this specific email. And that's it. Once that's done, all I then have to do is hit publish and it changes from draft over here. And now you can see that it's published. And I keep going. So I add a second email. I go back to my list. I scroll down to my email number 2. I grab the subject line once more, right? I pop the subject line in here, and then I grab the email. If you're wondering why my email is highlighted in green, it's because this email has already been sent. So in my business, we use a traffic light symbol. So when I have published an email, because we write a lot of emails, we just highlight them in green so that we know that this email is already in ConvertKit somewhere. It's in one of the sequences. And if I search for a sequence called passive products cash flow emails, I will find this specific email was sent. And the reason why this isn't highlighted is because I believe we decided not to send that one after all. But anyway, let's keep moving. So I copied that one and now I am pasting it, and I would do the same thing. Go through, check the links, read through, and exclude whoever I need to exclude, and then hit publish over here. Obviously check the date, in terms of how often are you sending this email? Send after 1 day, that sounds about right, because that fits with my posting schedule over here. So we have day 1, day 2, day 3. So this is a 7-day back-to-back type of email sequence over here. And this is how you would set up your email sequence. So once I hit publish over here, I now have email number 2. And from here, you can see the subject line of the email. You can also see when the emails are being sent. You can see that this one has some exclusions because it has that funnel, whilst this one hasn't got the exclusions. You can also change the order of the emails. So I could choose to move this up, move this down, and save a new order of the emails. I could choose to do all of that. There's a number of other things that we have the ability to do inside of this section, and that is that we can view the reports. Now, as you know, this is just for demo purposes, so nobody has received this. But had I sent this email out previously, I could see, a lot of my reports over here. I can see what my open rates are. I can see what my click-through rates are. I can see how many people have requested to be unsubscribed from this sequence, removed, have completed this sequence, the subscribers in this sequence, the unconfirmed subscribers who are within this sequence, and I can see the same information here at a glance. You also have the settings over here, which is pretty useful. This is where you choose a number of things. You know, you decide on which email you are sending from if you have more than one email, your days for sending, any exclusions that you want to exclude, all of that will be there. And of course, just some sequence behavior. So for example, if you want people to be able to restart the sequence because perhaps it's a lead magnet sequence and you know people are going to join multiple times. You know how we all are when we, you grab something and it's free and then you you forget that you had it and then you grab it again. So you might go, yes, enable the ability to restart the sequence multiple times. However, down here, I tend to say, yes, subscribers added via visual automation should stay in the sequence. I use this if this is an evergreen type of sequence where I am going to be adding emails over a long period of time. So for example, in another video, about how I use ConvertKit, I'm going to be sharing how I run my newsletter through an evergreen sequence. So if you're doing something that is evergreen, so this specific launch isn't evergreen, right? So I wouldn't put a yes there. But if you're doing something that is evergreen and you know that you're going to continuously add emails to that, then you sure want to click yes over here. And once you have read through and you have updated everything, you click over here on update sequence and it is done. And in order to go back to your emails, the actual content, you click over here to content and voila, zippity doo-dah, you are back over here in your email sequences. So it's very, very simple to use and I love it because it just does a really, really great job. So let me know if you have any questions about this segment, but let's continue and move forward. So I've walked you through how to create your email sequences inside of ConvertKit, but we're not quite done just yet. In order to truly have that hands-free business that I know that you want, that business that runs by itself, we're going to need something known as automations, and ConvertKit is really great at automations. So what are automations? Automations are essentially a series of rules that you're giving ConvertKit for a specific sequence or some sequences together. So it's just rules. But the beauty about automations is that it really is like a tin of tomato. It does what it says on the tin. It automates your business. So you know that when somebody is inside of an automation, that specific subscriber is going to follow the set of rules that are contained within that automation. I feel like I'm saying a lot of words and I really ought to be showing you instead. So why don't we jump in to my ConvertKit account and I can show you how to build automations using your sequences. So let's take a look at how to create automations inside of ConvertKit. So you go over here to automate, and when you hit the drop down here, you're going to see lots of different options. We need this one that says visual automations. Once you get into visual automations, you can see over here that I already have a lot of visual automations running the various parts of my business. And if I point your direction here, for example, you can see that it can get, seemingly complicated, as you can see. So this is pretty simple, right? Because it's one straight line. But when you get into something like this, where it's, it's lots of different automations happening inside of this specific sequence. In fact, let me open this up so that we can see. So you can see that there are various entry points to this specific automation. So there is a form that people can join, or they are tagged with this specific tag, or they are tagged with this specific tag, for example. And you can see how many people have joined based on, how they came in. You can see that they get tagged here again. They get tagged here again. So they don't know that this is happening, by the way. The subscriber doesn't know what tags are going, onto their name, and then they get access to this sequence, and then they get split over here. So this one says has RSVP high ticket funnel tag. If they have, they go down this path. If they don't have, they go down this path. So this allows me to see how many people have clicked on a specific link that has RSVP high ticket funnel. So I know that over here only 2 people clicked that link. So now I know that perhaps that tag wasn't even necessary because not many people are clicking it, and people are literally bypassing and going down this route, etc. And so they just keep moving, and all I have done is reroute them according to where I want them to be. So everybody ends up here. Then, of course, they get tagged here again. They wait 2 days, and they continue to receive all other sequences as part of this sequence, essentially, and it just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. And so this is a pretty, I would say, pretty mature funnel. It's a pretty mature automation, because I have put in so much work into this. And with this specific automation, when people get into it, they can be in here. I think it's probably 3 or 6 months long, along those lines, in this specific automation. So I want to show you how I create automation. So we start here by going into new automation. And you have various options here. So ConvertKit has added lots of templates which you can use, and I've certainly used these and they work well, but I always do prefer to start from scratch, only because I do know what I'm doing already. But if I were just starting from starting with ConvertKit from as a new user, I would use these automations. So you have an automation pre-built to release a new album, to run a paid newsletter, to welcome subscribers to your podcast, grow your audience in Spark Loop, share social media content, release a new podcast, release a new book, launch a fan club, and all of these amazing templates that you have. And it just keeps going, guys. Like, seriously, it is amazing. Host a webinar, promote a digital product. There's so much that you can use. I'm actually tempted to begin with one of these. Let's see, evergreen podcast, newsletter. That could work for what I want to show you. Or we could start from scratch. So let's do that. Start from scratch over here. So when you start from scratch, it's actually very, very easy. The first thing I always do is name the automation. So I'm going to click this pencil and I'm going to name the automation. This is just for me so I can remember that it's a demo. Okay. Now, once you've named your automation, you click over here to start building, and then you have various options. There are 4 ways that you can begin an automation. One is that somebody joins a form, or they're added to a tag, or they have a custom field, or they have purchased something. So it's completely up to you according to how your business is built. So what I prefer to do is either they've joined a form or they have been added to a tag. So let's imagine that they had joined the form. So a form inside of ConvertKit is either just a form or a landing page. All of that is a form. And I have several built inside of ConvertKit. So I'm going to leave this as it's already navy blue, so it's already pre-selected. Here it says any form. So I can hit this drop down and I can see all my forms that I have created, right? Or, oops, disappeared. Hold on a minute. Start again. Or I can click over here to create a new form or landing page. See how easy ConvertKit is making that for us. So ConvertKit is saying, hey, Pam, if you don't already have a form here that you want to use for this, just click over here and create a new one. Okay, so I'm going to click over here and just create a new form like this, like so, like so. And I'm going to hit save. Oops. Okay, so here it is. It's lifted that into my automation already. Now, the only thing that I didn't do there is I didn't rename the form, hence why I went, oops, just a minute ago. So I needed to rename this form. You wouldn't want to keep it as what it is called, which is Charlotte form. You want to name it something that you can remember. So I'm going to click on edit step over here. Or rather, hold on. Oops. Here we go. So Charlotte form. So demo form so that I can remember. Okay, so now I'm back. Let's open the automation again. Here we are, right? So it's now called demo form. So now I'm saying to ConvertKit, when somebody joins this form, what do I want them to do next? Or rather, ConvertKit, what do I want you to do next? Now, there are 2 ways you can go. You can either click this plus, in which case you can build out more options. So perhaps you're going to say to ConvertKit when somebody joins this form or they join a tag, right? That's getting a little bit more advanced, right? So I want to keep it really, really simple. So I'm going to build downwards, okay? So I want to click on this plus over here, and I'm going to say to ConvertKit, when somebody joins this form, I want them to take a series of actions. So there are 3 things that they can do. We can pull up an event, we can pull up an action, or we can pull up a condition. Now, events and condition becomes a little bit more complicated and majorly advanced. And when you use ConvertKit often enough, you will probably use these at some point. But to begin with, you're going to stay here in actions. So in actions, we're saying to ConvertKit, when somebody joins this form, I want you to do one of 6 things as an action. Either add them to an email sequence, add or remove a tag, set a time delay, add a custom field, move the subscriber, or indeed unsubscribe the subscriber. So you can do any of that under your actions. In this instance, because I've already created an email sequence that I want to use for this demo, I'm going to click over here to email sequence. So now that I've selected that, ConvertKit is now saying, Pam, what email sequence would you like me to add people to? I'm going to hit this drop down and I'm going to look for my email sequence. So I have far too many, so I can just use the search bar. So let me see what I can find. So I have a lot of demo. This is the one I'm looking for because it has the word demo here. So now that I've selected that, I can click on add action, and that's it, right? This automation is ready to go. Now, there are so many bells and whistles that I can add to this. I could add tags. I could add a custom field. I can build out other entry points for this specific sequence, for this specific automation. However, if you were just first getting started, you literally only need these 2 steps. One is, how do they come into the sequence? And the other is, where do they go once they've come into this automation, right? So they come into the automation via a form, and then they go into this sequence, and that's all you need to do. Now, this sequence isn't going to work, however, until we turn it on. And so you go over here to turn on the sequence. So I'm going to hit here, and ConvertKit is saying, Pam, there are 0 subscribers in this sequence. Turning it on will automatically advance subscribers that are ready to progress. Please note that it may take a few minutes for the changes to be reflected in each step. And I click over here and turn it on, and we are in business. We are good to go. And right now I have just created a very simple automation inside of ConvertKit. Okay, so we have done email sequences, email automations. Finally, I want to wrap up by talking about email funnels. How do you move from a sequence to an automation to a funnel? Right, so let's talk email funnels. What are email funnels? Email funnels are, in all honesty, they are automations, but it's now a series of automations. And how do you prolong that automation or the journey of the subscriber? You see, one of the biggest problems people have when they are growing their business or when they are growing their email list is they work so hard creating their lead magnet, getting the subscriber in, and then poof, like it ends there. Nothing else happened. Now, this is where email funnels come in. If you are able to build an email funnel, it means that your subscriber that came in possibly cold into your email list, they then begin to move through the buyer's journey over a period of time via an email funnel. Now, within this funnel, you can do anything. So you can sell products, you can sell multiple products, you can sell upsells or downsells, you can bring people to a webinar, you can bring them to listen to your podcast, you can bring them to a live event. I mean, your only limitation is your mindset here. So there is nothing that you cannot do through an email funnel. So why don't I show you one of my favorite ways of building an email funnel? Let's jump into my ConvertKit account once again. Okay, welcome back. So earlier I showed you how to create a simple automation inside of ConvertKit, which is what this is. Very simple, but very powerful automation. Now, how do you go from a simple automation to an email funnel? Well, this is where we need to roll our sleeves up and really go deep into what it is we want to achieve inside of ConvertKit as a funnel. So earlier I did show you an example, but let me just pull it up once again and just go through it just a little bit more in depth so that you can see what it is that we're trying to create. So I'm going to come out of this automation that we have already built, and I'm going to find a different one that is a funnel for you so that you can see the clear difference. Let's see if we can find a simple funnel over here. Let's try this one. So already, as it's zoomed out, you can already see that this is a lot more advanced than the first one that we just built, which is this one. You see how this is only 2 steps, 1, 2. And if we go back to the other one, this has many steps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 that we can see here. So your email funnel doesn't have to be that advanced, if I'm being completely honest with you. And in fact, let me see if I have something a little bit less advanced, just because I don't want to confuse you. Like, look, some of them can go on forever. I do have a lot of email funnels. Okay, I'm going to show you this specific email funnel just because it's a little bit advanced, but it's not too difficult. I really don't want to lose people who are new to ConvertKit. So let's look at this one because it will help everybody. Okay, let's open this. Okay, so this is one of my email funnels for my products, actually. So let me show you what happens. So people either come in via a tag or they come in via a form. Either way, it doesn't matter. So you can see that 66 people have come in via the tag and 7 people have come in via the form altogether who have they've purchased this specific product. So once they purchase this specific product, down here they get tagged as a buyer. So this is where my funnel actually begins. So you can see over here that only 7 people have been tagged. That is because these 66 people already came in with that specific tag, but these 7 people somehow bypassed the tag. And so I'm catching them and I'm going, hey, stop over here. I need to tag you. So now everybody is tagged. Then they get dropped into this specific email sequence. You can see that 73 people altogether have completed this specific email sequence. So let's call this the first part of our email funnel. Then this is where the magic begins to happen, guys. They wait 7 days. So there's a 7-day delay where they finish this part of the funnel. They're going to wait 7 days and not hear anything from me, so a whole week. And then they get dropped into this specific sequence over here, which I believe is another 7-day sequence that's bringing them to a 10x revenue consultation with me. So you can see that in that time, we had 71 people here, and now we have 68 people here, which means that 3 people have unsubscribed or taken themselves out of this specific sequence, and that's perfectly okay, and that will happen. But essentially, this is an email funnel. What is an email funnel in a nutshell? An email funnel is a series of actions that we take our subscribers through, right? So action number 1 would be that they joined. Action number 2, they got tagged. Action number 3, they dropped into this specific email sequence. Action number 4, they had a 7-day delay. And action number 5, after that delay, they then went into this specific sequence. So you can see that whilst this is a relatively simple email funnel, there's a lot of actions and a lot of moving pieces involved in this. And the beauty about this is I set this up and I walk away. I couldn't even tell you when I set this up, guys. You know, it's got to be a good couple of years, you know, but it still runs. So whenever somebody buys this product as part of our funnel, they get dropped into this sequence. And that is why we have a lot of sequences inside of ConvertKit that literally funnels after funnels after funnels powers the entire business. So let me go back to the first demo that we are all looking at. So this is this one. Let's open this and let's build this out into a funnel for you. So we have the first action, they've joined the form. The next action, they have joined this sequence. What I would do if I was building this out into a funnel is I would actually put a tag in the middle here. And so I would click on that plus, action, add or remove tag. I'm going to click on this and I'm going to leave it on this red which says add tag. If I wanted to remove a tag, I'll click on remove a tag, but instead I want to add a tag. Now over here, I need to select the tag that I want to add or create one. You can see it says search or create. So if you don't have that tag already created, you can just create it straight away. So I'm going to hit drop down. I'm going to search for my tag. So let me see if I have a tag already called demo. Okay. I have that already. I'm going to click on add action. Now, obviously, when you are creating this, you wouldn't call yours demo. The only reason mine is called demo is just so that I remember to delete these afterwards because, of course, I'm doing this for demo purposes. So now I have action number 1. They joined the form. Action number 2, I've added them to a tag. Action number 3, they joined this sequence. And action number 4, I want to add a delay. So whenever somebody has finished a sequence, you want to have a delay. They need to take a break, guys, you know, from hearing from you for a few days. You can have a delay. I sometimes do 1 day, sometimes I do 2 days, 5 days, or 7 days, depending on what the funnel is for. So over here is where the delay is. You can delay by number of days or delay until a custom date, which is pretty handy, especially if you have like a live event coming up or something, then you can delay by a custom date. For now, let's do number of days. So I'm going to click on this. and I'm going to delay for 7 days. I'm going to click on add action here. So you can see that the delay has happened here. So if I did have subscribers in this sequence, they would join via the form, get tagged, get through this sequence, then wait for 7 days, and then I need to tell ConvertKit what happens after the 7 days. Now, naturally, after the 7 days, you want to move them on to the next thing. You can either add or remove a tag, you can set a custom field, you can move the subscriber to a whole different automation, again, a little bit more advanced, but again, in the spirit of simplicity and just so that you can all take action, I would simply move them to another email sequence. And once again, you can search or create the sequence. So for now, I'm going to add them to my evergreen launch sequence. Add action here. Okay, and that will be the final part of my email funnel. So now I don't have to worry, assuming this was a real automation, of course, that I would be using for my business. I don't have to worry. When somebody joins this form, I know that they will be taken through all of these actions without me having to lift a finger. And this is the beauty of automations, guys. So I hope you got a lot of value from this video for how to build email funnels and automation inside of ConvertKit. It's literally my favorite thing to do and what powers my business. I want to hear your questions. Let me know what questions you have about automations, about funnels. I'm your funnel girl. So make sure you drop it below this video. And if you ever want to check out ConvertKit, I highly recommend that you do. And in fact, I'm going to pop a special link in the description of this video. So make sure you click that link to check it out. It'll give you access to a free trial that allows you to use ConvertKit and build your email list from 0 to 1,000 subscribers without paying for ConvertKit. So what's there not to love? Go ahead and check out the link below this video. Click that link in order to check out ConvertKit. And I cannot wait to see all of the amazing automations that you build in your business. Before you go, this video is a part of a wonderful series where I'm talking about ConvertKit, my favorite creator marketing platform. So go ahead and check out this playlist to see the other videos in this series. And I'll see you in my next video. See you then.